Hello guys, and we are back, and we are gonna be getting into our first game in just a bit. This time, it's gonna be a ZVZ, and we will be checking out the series between Dione as well as JazzyJay. So it's pretty much gonna be an old versus new affair yet again. Veteran play versus a newcomer looking to make an impact. Question is though, who's gonna be the one who ekes it out? Our first map for this session, of course, will be a classic one as well. And it will be Eternal Empire LE. It looks like it can be a lot of macro here for both of our players. Who will be standing the test of time, though? That's going to be the real question there. And don't forget, guys, Quarantine Tournament number 5 is brought to you by Pure PC as well as Block 101. And it's presented, of course, by DLS Missile, Daks, PH, and Ayos Buhay Productions. And one more thing, we also have this additional gold to diamond prize for our champion. It is going to be the K6103 Fansec. Look pretty solid there from Pure PC. So big shout outs to them. Big shout outs to both of our sponsors. Block 101 also adding up to that prize pool. Really goes to show there's a lot of support for the scene so far. But in any case, looking like we're going to be getting into a ZVZ. Pretty exciting stuff, to say the least. I do believe, though, we're going to be doing 6 matches for today, and this is match number 1. We'll be doing 4 of them from Gold to Diamond, 2 from Masters Plus, and we are going to be good to go for the rest of the night. So hopefully you guys are going to be enjoying your time here, and just grab a seat, enjoy the action. This is Quarantine number 5, and let's get it on, let's get it done, and let's get into game number 1 in this best of 3 between JazzyJay and Dione. So hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are into a game. It's been a while since we've seen the Quarantine Tournament in full force. It feels right to be at home. This is Quarantine Tournament number 5, ladies and gentlemen. This is number 5. And we are here. We are now in Eternal Empire for a ZVZ. Introducing first. Here on the top right, you might know him as the face of the moon. You might know him from those Liberty and Swarm days, but he has brought back a new legacy here, and it is our purple Zerg, Dione. So Dione, guys, he has been making some really good splashes and dashes in the Gold to Diamond brackets. Haven't really gone all the way as of yet, though, but he's trying to find his old form. I do believe his peak was GM at some point, if I remember correctly, way back when, like 7 years ago, 8 years ago, or something like that. And really goes to show that after being a little bit out of his game, he's just trying to figure out how to play this game yet again. And he's doing a pretty good job so far, beating the likes of some newcomers here and there, but at the same time, he still needs a little bit more to go to fight everyone else. But his opponents here on the bottom left, well, these guys are just having a nice little conversation. We've seen JazzyJay before in a few different, well, novice stuff here and there. And it really goes to show that this blue Zerg is just trying his best to get better and better. I've seen him do battle with some of our admins, with so much of our community really active in the Discord. It is our blue Zerg, JazzyJay. So I already love the names between these two guys. And yep, there you go. All of these commands should be good to go. And we will be having a great time. Don't forget, though, that if you do check the bracket, it should be spoilers. So it is what it is. So you might not want to look into that one, because it's going to be pretty spicy to see what results are coming our way. But here we go with JazzyJay setting up that pool. First, I believe Hatcher going to be there as well. And Dione in the meantime, going to be basically doing the same old thing. Seems like the timing were pretty much the similar time, though. But in any case, it is going to be metabolic boost from both sides immediately. ZVZ action. Whenever I see ZVZ, there is only one thing I think of. Mirror matchup at its finest. It's not just seeing the same faction on the other side. It's usually seeing the same unit composition and doing your best to beat them out. If you guys don't know, though, what that means is when basically you go for Lings, you stay on Lings. And then someone goes for Banes, they go on Banes, you go on Banes. And when someone goes for Roaches, you go on Roaches, and yada yada, vice versa. It really goes to show, like, I only feel like the only counterpick that happens is the Hydra versus Muta kind of ordeal. But besides that, it really is just all about using your units to the best degree, because Zerg, as a faction, likes to use their quantity over their quality. And when you do have the same kind of quantity and quality, it's all about using them to the best degree. And here we go already with Dione. could play defensive. Evo Chamber bailing this by the natural. Look to make a little bit of a funnel here. Opens up the south side of his base, but that's fine. It's dandy. That's all good to go anyway. In the meantime, JazzyJay, this is a good number of Lings actually looking to go for the attack. 14 of them, 18 of them coming his way. Even worker count, even army count so far. And this first battle gonna be very, very paramount to say the least into the engagement. High ground battle ready. JazzyJay poking after Dione. Dione in the meantime running on the way to the top left instead. And this, guys, is our first game of our first match here in Quarantine number 5. And don't forget, this is your local tournament for the Philippines scene. We do this by the month. We try to do this as much as we can. And we've been grading so many waves so far, really bringing the community back together. And it's been great to see. But Dione right now bringing everything together here with a spine crawler. This natural should be protected. Really good defensive play here from Dione so far. At the very least, adding up some queens to his collection. But the question here right now is, what's the plan here for JazzyJay? He's able to force his opponent to play defensively, and instead he's gonna go for the worker count. But at the same time, Dione gonna get a good run on into the main base. And right now, it is just gonna be time for the micro to make dividends here. Goodbye to any kind of mining here on the main base whatsoever. And JazzyJay right now just idling with these workers. Dione in the meantime showing better control. And this is just a... this is a concept here, guys. It's a concept of a good idea, but poor execution. I love what JazzyJay did at the start. He zones out his opponent. He has these bailings right now ready to go, but he forgets about his own base. He's not able to micro it in time, and in the end, inefficient mining there allows Dione to take the lead. Now, one bailing make a difference. Dione allowing this to crawl on forward. JazzyJay, though, in the meantime, trying to run on away. 1 for 2 is not a bad trade. It gets a splash on, and bailings will survive with their butts still hanging out from in behind. Here we go again. All about these extractors right now. And it does feel like this CVC is all about respecting one another so far. They're trying to make space against one another. They're trying to figure out what this is all going to be all about. And I think the paramount question here is, who will get that big boom first? For now, though, JazzyJay sending in a few more of these Lings yet again. Extractors right now into the fray. These size might turn into a roach battle here with a lair tech online. But this will be JazzyJay looking to perhaps get those hooks. And here we go with a battle in the middle of the map. The Desert Waste here on Eternal Empire gonna be littered with the corpses of the Lings there of Dione. But JazzyJay gonna be going for the push. And okay, that spine crawler getting so much value. Actually poking a few bailings here and there with some help of the Queen. And Dione holding the line yet again. Turtle gameplay here from Dione so far. But he is stuck onto base. I'd love to see JazzyJay actually get that third base though, and he is gonna go for it as of the moment. He's a lot of map control, but he's losing out on the worker counts, and in terms of the economy, don't want to be behind as a Zerg player no matter what. Doesn't matter if you're playing against Terran Protoss or a fellow Zerg, you always want to have more of those minerals to have more of those larvae to turn into units, and yada yada, build a big army. The swarm is coming, and the Roach Warren is here to play for Dione. At the same time though, JazzyJay actually going to go for the Spire, and we'll be going for his own Roach Warren at the same time. This is going to be a big investment though, and JazzyJay can actually commit in a way to go for the Mutas instead. The Roach is going to struggle to do anything because they cannot shoot flying units, but at the same time, you know, with a Roach Ravager composition there from Dione, you can just go for a push on the ground. So it's a kind of tit-for-tat situation. It's all about what kind of value you're going to get, and speaking of value right now, Bailey going to get the bust yet again in front. Seems like that one spine crawler did kind of evaporate there, but at the same time, it's Dione with another run-on by. And you know, I'd love to hear a little bit more of the debate here. Do we go for the Spire, commit on that, or do we battle with the Roach Warren? We're getting +1 though here from JazzyJay, so at the very least, he'll have some reinforcements there and there on the ground. Third base now, gonna get hampered here. And these are the Lings trying to go for a few folks here and there. But at the same time, it's JazzyJay right now responding. Gonna get his third base up and running, and it seems like he is gonna go for the Muta instead. A Roach Warren here for safety. Not the worst thing to go on. It's only 75-25 anyway. And in the end, it's gonna be another Ling battle yet again. Dione though, looking to go for a few more pokes here and there, but JazzyJay with a cleanup yet again. But at the same time, because of the space created by the run-on by, Dione is able to get that third base, so it seems like it's gonna be good to go here for our purple Zerg as well. So for now, it feels like it is really all about respect here. And it does feel like for Dione, he just made space for himself to get that third base up and running. Now he can battle against his opponent, and since he has his own Spire, we are seeing ZVZ in true form. Mirror matchup indeed. I do believe, though, that Dione actually canceled his Roach Warren, so we're not gonna see any of those armored units. It's an air battle to fly on by instead. Dione right now having a flock. Seems like it's the same thing here for JazzyJay, but he has only half of the count of Dione here. And this is where you don't want to stretch thin your resources. You want to decide what kind of army comp you want to go on. And in a case like this, Dione looking more hyper-focused in what he wants to do. But Carapace here from JazzyJay should allow him to get that scouting here and there. Again, action onto the east side perhaps, as we have Dione going for another swarm of Lynx, looking to get the flood onto the third base. But here we go again with the Muta Ball, and it feels like the battle really will be between the Ling run-bys and the Muta fights. So though, here we go now with the Lynx looking to nibble against one another yet again. Here we have the Bailing though trying to chase on by, and JazzyJay creeping forward. Now, in the ZVC, you don't want to do this too much because your opponent can also use creep. Zerg just uses creep in general. It's a life force for them, so it doesn't matter who owns it. Everyone will get a speed boost. And for now, JazzyJay is just really allowing Dione here to run into his lines a lot quicker than usual. Here we go though with the Mutas looking to hamper this third base. That is going to be pokes abound, and goodbye to so many drones there already. In the meantime, Link battle by the ramp here. And JazzyJay gonna clean up, but Dione is already doing all he can to bother his opponent. Not only the drones do die, Overlord's gonna get sniped as well. And overall, I like this a lot better here for Dione. He's in a better spot. He has an anchor point to actually leap into the fray of the opponents. And then, this is what I'm trying to say. Look at how Dione is going for his own creep spread. He's only spreading where he knows he can defend. Compared to JazzyJay, that he's thinking maybe this is a ZVP and ZVC. It's like, okay, I can go for as many creep streamers as possible. And sure, you get a launch point to attack your opponent. But on the conversely, well, your opponent can easily run into your own base. But for now, it's not about the running here, guys. It's about the Muta Ball. And it's time right now to see these Flyers look to go for another fight yet again. In the meantime, though, more Mutas here from JazzyJay. And this is the air show that we have been looking for so far. Overseer going to be in behind as well, looking to get a scout here and there. Besides that, it's the same kind of show. It seems like we're seeing a repeat of every single season that we see. Because Dione using the same angle to attack this third base. A small number of Lynx looking to bother this hatchery. At the same time, though, JazzyJay sending in an Overseer. And now he's able to basically heat check his opponents. Since JazzyJay sends in those Mutas, it does give Dione a good idea of how many Mutas there are on to this battle. So Dione right now might have a feeling that, okay, I might have the advantage here, but okay, JazzyJay, I love this tech. He goes into Hive, he gets a Viper, Parasitic Bomb. Gonna be scary in a situation like this, especially if the Mutas are all clumped up. The problem right now for this Viper is it needs energy, and it's gonna be consuming the hatchery here so far. In the meantime, though, Dione right now poking another number of these Overlords. And this is actually pretty big because Dione is making sure JazzyJay has to use the next amount of larva to turn into Overlords instead. We're getting +1 though at the same time here for the side of JazzyJay, but he's losing workers yet again. And there we go with the third base, gonna get hampered. Two-prong attack here from the side of Dione. And it really just goes to show, well, JazzyJay has some really good ideas. It feels like Dione has the edge on that micro, on that control, and he's able to attack in 2 fronts at once. 37 drones do go down, and by this point in time, it is just Dione systematically, automatically picking off his opponents. This doesn't feel like it's a one battle kind of shindig. This is just already keys to the kingdom here for Dione. And all he needs to do is tear house, get rid of the Mutas, and he is just winning this game. For now though, at the very least, cleaning up some creep. Mutas gonna catch out a few of those Lings there. At the same time, Dione playing a very, very reserved game. He's just poking against these drones yet again. Long distance mining, not panning out whatsoever for JazzyJay. And that is just a double worker lead right now here for Dione. This is looking very, very bad here for Blue Zerg. It seems like this is the beginning of the end. And Dione right now gonna be looking to run on into the main base yet again. He's going for the Spire actually, which is a pretty interesting decision. And JazzyJay will clean it up. But here we go again with the Mutas right now. And I really feel like it's just all about that micro control. Parasitic Bomb though, gonna be into play. But look at that, Dione immediately throwing that one Muta into the wilds just to die. Really goes to show the reaction time here of Dione. And this is where micro really matters, especially in a tournament setting, especially when you know you can do a little more than your opponent. We see the shades of the old school Dione right there, able to just pan on that, able to get those kills. And here we go again with another battle. JazzyJay trying to cut things off, but here comes Dione right now with a two-prong attack yet again. Parasitic bomb though, getting damage. Dione gonna be microing that away, but JazzyJay has done some good damage so far, and Dione gonna be looking for rapid regeneration instead. For now though, JazzyJay doesn't want to overextend what he has done so far. He got a good poke, sure, but it doesn't mean that he wins this fight. And these Vipers right now gonna get caught out. It's a little too late for these Flyers, and Dione will be able to win this map with the pickoff from not only the workers, but also on those Vipers. A very quiet game to start things off really goes to show that small little things can make a difference in any setting like a tournament. There you go, guys. Game number 1 is done. Thank you to Mugart for the raid. We're on a tournament right now, so apologies for no alerts there. But I really appreciate it, as well as Jane Meany and everyone has been checking out the stream so far. Really just goes to show, though. Really just goes to show. When you see the shades of these old school players, they are just very, very scary. And that's where Dione brings it back, brings in his own form. And he's just able to win no matter what. Those Mutas poking onto that second. The Zerglings are really hampering that third. It just felt like it was always pressure all the freaking time. And it was a ridiculous show, to say the least. But we are going to be getting into map number 2 right now. And our next one is Deathaura LE. So, gonna be a smaller map this time. A lot of aggression here, perhaps with the speed boost in the middle of the map. Triple base setup gonna be very easy for both of our Zerg players. But in a case like this is Dione right now, up by 1. Can he wrap things up in our first series, or will we see JazzyJay get one back? As we said before, he's had some really good ideas so far. I like that Viper. I like what he was doing, but it feels like not only he was stretching Tin's resources, but he wasn't also keeping an eye out on his bases. Multiple times, Dione just able to run in, able to destroy his opponent so systematically. And those mineral lines, way too easy to handle. But in any case, let's get into game number 2. Let's get into our second game, and let's get into Deathaura LE. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we go into game number 2 out of 3 here in the best of 3 between Dione and JazzyJay. Our purple Zerg, though, is 1 ahead, and it really goes to show experience is the best teacher. And right now, JazzyJay is experiencing some corporal punishment from the teachings of Dione right now, because he is struggling to stay alive in those worker lines. But you can see the ideas, you can see the concepts. It's all about the execution there. Dione, in the meantime, microcontrol is scary, and it really goes to show why he's a force to be reckoned with in the bracket so far. But introducing first, here on the southeast side of Deathaura LE, it's our new gun looking to cock his rifle and looking to make a splash. It is our green Zerg here, JazzyJay. And his opponent, here on the top left, the old gun looking to still keep on keeping on. He is 1 map ahead, and he is on match point. Can he move over to round number 2, or will we see a game number 3? It is our purple Zerg this time, Dione. So a while ago, we saw some similar timings between the pools. This time, we're gonna get these hatcheries first yet again from both sides. Spawning pool gonna be up and about at the same time. Also, for both players, really goes to show that these two are very practiced in whatever build they want to do to begin with. But the question is, what's the plan here for both sides? Dione right now, he showed up a while ago, faking that Roach Warren, going for the more mute approach, and just able to win it out there. While JazzyJay tried to do something with those Vipers, unfortunately they were caught. His drones were kaput as well, and that was that. In any case though, guys, we will do gold to diamond first. We'll do 3 more matches after this match, and then we will move over to Masters Plus, and we'll call it a day. After my broadcast, everyone else can actually do their own streams for the other games that are still available. I'll be, of course, making them available in a replay pack after the stream as well, which you can bookmark with the SC Replay Packs command. For now, though, JazzyJay! You madman. You are a madman. This is... I mean, maybe Dione might get surprised. I might get, like, confused because this is spawning pool, it's green too. But no, JazzyJay, little bit of a heat check there, but I really don't agree with what he's doing right now. He puts on Spy Crawler, but this is way too late to do whatever the hell he wants and more with this. So maybe a little bit of distraction there, but he's wasting minerals, and now Dione is like, okay, that's like 200 minerals right there with the cancel, with the Spine Crawl. I'm good. That's 8 links that will not come on by. That's 1 queen that doesn't come online there for JazzyJay. And in all honesty, this is where Dione can easily take advantage of anything going on to begin with. Yeah, we'll figure out how this is gonna go for Dione, because he is just looking at the scouts, looking to get to the staircase. And at the very least, JazzyJay actually have a good number of links here for now. So there we go. Dione gonna be losing these initial scouts, I believe, immediately. 8 links here for JazzyJay. He also has that worker right now. But at the same time, what is going on here? Dione able to get that Baneling Nest a little quicker than his opponents. He's even going for his own Spy Controller here, to say the least. He's expecting cheese right now because of that heat check there from JazzyJay. And at the very least, you see JazzyJay looking to build a bigger army and get a Roach Warren early. So now this is an interesting conundrum for both of our players. One side gonna go for the Baneling Nest. The other side gonna go for the Roach Warren instead. So in a case like this, who do you think is gonna win? It really just depends who can get the anchor on who first, who can get the shoe on the other foot first into this fight, and who can actually get to the middle lines quicker than the opponent. Those are some pretty big shoes to fill though. Because with the Baneling Nest, you don't want to go for the direct fight against the roaches, but you can burst down drones very quickly. At the same time, on the other side, with the Roach Warren, you can just go for the A move if you have enough units. But you might lose your base there from the speed of those links, so it really goes to show that these two players need to make a decision, and fast, on how they're gonna go about these things. Fernando got Dione, getting a few Banelings here and there, and yet again, he sets up his natural in a way where it's very defensive. He also gets a Roach Warren along the way, so now he has more tech options. He should be looking a lot better here than JazzyJay, and he's feeling very secure so far with his position. Dione right now putting the queen in front. One Baneling though will bust down a few of those links there. Not too shabby from both sides, but it really goes to show that JazzyJay just can't get anything done, and 6 drones even dying in the mineral field. Even worse for Wear here. Dione is just able to infiltrate with links and just burst on down out of nowhere. A while ago, it was just normal Zerglings. This time, it was a Baneling there to get the bust on. An absolute value yet again from Dione. This guy is just in Best Buy or something. This guy knows how to go for a shopping spree at the lowest prices. And with links and banes, you already know that it's all about control. It's all about speed. It's all about reacting when you need to. But now things are looking very, very on the up for Dione. Wouldn't be surprised if he can take this win, but we still got a long way to go in this game. Hatchery number 3 gonna be going online here for our purple Zerg. And while that Link trying to get that scouts, it's still the Queens looking to defend. And it's time for the hatchery to go online here. Dione, in the meantime, also going to be adding things up to his collection. We are getting that lair tech. We're getting those roaches. On the other side, though, JazzyJay already with the lair, so he's going to get that +1 as well as their constitution. And he's actually committing on a ground-based composition. JazzyJay right now looking to go all in on the ground. He's going for the Hydras at the same time, but has to be very, very careful because of these Banelings. They are just going for a little bit of the burst yet again. And this does give Dione the intel that a Hydra that is coming. Roach Warren's getting the research. And what's the plan here for a purple Zerg? Seems like the plan right now is to build a bigger army. 20 army supply advantage here for Dione. We do see JazzyJay though looking for the pokes, and that Overseer getting a scout on, but at the same time, here comes Dione right now onto the ground. Doesn't matter if he doesn't have the constitution, because he's going to be able to chase these roaches anyway, and get those takedowns. Good surround there from the Lings to cut off the retreat. And speaking of the Lings, here we go again with a run on him. Here comes Dione right now. He is looking for blood, he's looking for some targets, and he is looking to stifle JazzyJay as soon as possible. Will we see the fall of Jazz here? Or will we see Jazz Squares be in fashion? As JazzyJay right now making a funnel for himself. Like the decision here though from Dione, Baneling's cocoons abound. It's time to see the bust in all of its glory. And here we go with the brawl. JazzyJay though responding in kind immediately. The Constitution allowing him some extra steps here and there to get a few shots for free. And really goes to show it's all about that control yet again. A few Banelings right now dying in front. The Hydra's starting to get on the way, but Dione is going to get a good slam onto the Hydra's there. And here we go again with a little bit of a push into the natural line. Goodbye to the drone. 6 of them going to be going on down. Dione though with still overwhelming numbers. And he's now even going for the Ravagers at the same time. JazzyJay though going over to the east side. Queens trying to tag things up. Reinforcements have arrived to the other Queens. But now with the Ravagers good to go. Biles can't connect from above. Here comes the rain. Here comes the thunder. Lightning and the thunder slamming on down. Good damage there from the Bile. And this might be it. Unless JazzyJay can use this reinforcement cycle here to stay alive. It's not gonna happen. GG is called. Dione will move on. And that is that. JazzyJay again looking to invest on the tech. Going for the Hydras. Going for the Lurkers. But you need to respect how many units there are on the other side. You need to respect how many units there are on your opponents. And I feel like here for JazzyJay, his idea of ZVZ isn't as clear-cut compared to Dione. Dione knows it's all about numbers, knows it's about swarming, and he knows that it's all about getting one up on your opponent from the get-go. Compared to JazzyJay, we saw a while ago, he's creep spreading beyond his reaches, and now he's going for very, very early tech. In a way, he's looking to play a macro game, looking to play into the future. But in a ZVZ, things can end just this quickly. And Dione proving that, you know, it's not all about knowing the builds. You have to know the matchup. And it really goes to show experience has allowed him to move on to round number 2. So there you go, guys. That was game number 1. That was our first match for today. Dione versus JazzyJay. Dione will get that 2-0. And it really has been a lot of progress there from JazzyJay. But a big, big wall in front of him. Cold Dione really stopping any kind of push he wanted to do. But it is what it is. And it was a pretty fun match to begin with. It was a lot slower, though, than we would expect in a ZVZ from both sides. But it was just a good response there from Dione. He sets up that natural really, really well. And he's able to win, get that 2-0 victory. There you go, guys. This is confirmation of our results. Dione with a 2-0 Eternal Empire, and Deathaura allows him to move over to round number 2. So, we'll be going into our next match in just a bit. But before we get into that, quick little shoutouts yet again to our sponsors, Pure PC as well as Block 101. Without you guys, the quarantine tournament would not be as successful as this. And of course, this is presented to you by DLS Mizel, Daks PH, as well as iOS Buhay Productions. Don't forget though, for Gold to Diamond, there is also that additional prize. For our champion, we will be giving out that K613 Fighter TKL2 from Fansec, courtesy of Pure PC. Check them out at facebook.com/PurePCPH. And it just goes to show that we're getting so much support for the community. And I would love to see more and more of you guys in both of the brackets. In any case, we will be right back. Stay tuned, stick around for another match here in your official Round 1 broadcast of the Quarantine Tournament number 5.